Hey guys, Shadowz here. Welcome back to another Gears of War video. Today I thought I would make a video basing on a really cool interview with Rod Fergusson, which details why Rod returned to the Gears of War series. If you want to check out the full read, I'll be only going over the important stuff. There will be a link in a description box down below for you guys to check out. Let's start off with his departure while working on Gears of War at Epic, to him now present day again working at Black Tusk Studios on a new Gears of War experience. So hopefully, as you guys know, Rod Fergusson worked at Epic Games as executive producer for the Gears of War series and was kind of like a key face alongside friend and designer Cliff Bleszinski for the franchise. He took up the role of senior producer for Gears 2 but was promoted at the Gears 3 Going Gold party to Epic's director of production. For a few reasons, during 2012, Rod Fergusson announced he was leaving Epic Games, and in this interview, recent one, he states, quote unquote, "It was the fact that Epic was done working on Gears. I saw on the horizon with Tencent, which I believe is like a Chinese or Japanese company, their involvement and what they were doing and what was just happening within the company, that they were changing direction in a pretty fundamental way in terms of the free-to-play and all those sort of things, and it's not something I was interested in. I like the AAA, big narrative, big story, big impact games, so that's why I immediately went to BioShock Infinite." So he moves on to Irrational Games, who are responsible for the development of that game, BioShock Infinite. Rod joined as VP of production, which Rod describes as his favourite part of developing a game. "Closing is my favourite part of a project. That time from beta to shipping, if I could be in that phase all the time, I'd be in that phase all the time." So getting to why Rod returned to his home Gears of War, he says that when the opportunity arose to return working on Gears of War again, he didn't hesitate whatsoever. A main reason was that he wanted to be with his family, as the constant push of not seeing them for 9 months while working at Irrational was getting too much. Rod also talks about when he heard about Microsoft purchasing the franchise from Epic, and Black Tusk were the guys who were going to be selected as the new developers for Gears of War. "So once I found out that Black Tusk had Gears, it was a no-brainer. This literally is my dream job. If I were to sit down, if you were to say to me, here's a piece of paper, write the perfect job description for yourself, and I would be writing what I'm doing today. It's just crazy." I also remember a while ago now that Rod mentioned he is called Gears Viking for nothing on Twitter. It's his destiny to work on the next Gears of War and continue the love for the franchise. With Black Tusk acquiring Rod Fergusson on board to help create the next new Gears of War experience, they aren't really starting from scratch as well. They have all the storyline lore established from the first 4 games and just from the comics and the books too. On top of that, Rod brought with him some ideas and concepts he was playing around with while still working at Epic. I brought with me the work I had done on it before, so that's a starting point for us thinking about what we could do. There's definitely a lot of information that I had, what we've been working on, what Gears could become when I was still at Epic. There's no reason to restart from scratch, so let's just talk about the things I've already been thinking about. Not only is the ideas he had while at Epic the only influence Black Tusk has received from the ex-developers, Rod also has brought in some cool guys from Epic Games like Jim Brown to spend a few days just talking about things like what it means to design levels for the game. Rod has said since the franchise is being sold to Microsoft, Epic has been very supportive of Black Tusk. "I think they're really happy that Gears is back with me. I can make sure our baby gets taken care of." Then we have the relationship with the engine as well. They want the engine to do well and they want the game to do well as well in terms of sales. If you guys didn't know, the next Gears of War has been confirmed and will be using Epic Games' Unreal Engine 4. But finally, to wrap this up, Rod Fergusson gives an insight into his thought process and what he thinks about the whole situation in terms of Gears of War. Fergusson strongly says that this is a long-term commitment, and even have moved to Vancouver in Canada with his family so he can be just more closer to the studio and his family at the same time. I think it needs a little bit more of refreshing up. I think you have to make something current, so I think there's things that we have to do there. But I still think there's no reason why Gears needs to be short-lived at all. I think it's about being true to the franchise, paying it the respect it deserves so it can have that longevity. You have to invest in it, you have to believe in it, and you have to treat it properly, and then yeah, I think it has the legs to live on for sure. But so there you have it guys, an in-depth look at why Rod Fergusson returned to the Gears of War series. As well, like he has mentioned, he thinks it's going to be a long time commitment, meaning more than just one Gears of War video game experience. This could point towards maybe Black Tusk filling the gaps Rod said Epic left behind deliberately, like the backstory from E-Day, Pendulum Wars, all the way to the end of Gears 3. There's a lot of room in there, but Rod has said that he doesn't know if that's the places to go, as there are definitely other places too, really, meaning after the Gears 3 ending, suggesting possibly a sequel. That would be pretty cool to think about, but stay tuned by subscribing. That's it for today's video. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I will see you on the next one.